Sunderland University is joining a campaign for the release of a visiting professor of photography who's been jailed in Bangladesh after he spoke out against the government.
The photojournalist Shahidul Alam, who has close links with Sunderland, has been in police custody since early August. This is when the Bangladeshi capital of Dhaka was hit by student protests.
Well, Professor Arabella Plouviez is Dean of the Faculty of Arts and Creative Industries at the university.
Total shock. I mean, it was absolutely appalling. He was bundled away in the middle of the night and he's been in a cell now for over a month, and it's totally shocking. It's for raising questions about the way the government is behaving, and it's under a law that really questions the freedom of speech of everyone in Bangladesh. There's been an enormous outpouring across the world from all sorts of people, and we in universities in the UK wanted to do something to have our voice heard and to raise awareness. So as part of the Freeshahidul Alam campaign, we've created an exhibition that spans across the country in different universities, so that there's at least one image in each of the participating universities and information about what's happened to Shahidul, and then a social media supporting campaign.
Well, the Bangladesh-based lawyer Sara Hossain is working to get Shahidul Alam released.
No, not as yet, and the police investigation is still ongoing. In fact, the police had him in custody for 8 days, during which time on the first day he said that he had been beaten on the face until he bled. After those 8 days, they still had him in jail custody now for over almost 2 months, but police have asked for another few weeks to complete their investigations. This is despite the fact that they have said that they have seized his devices. They also have his Facebook passwords. We're completely at a loss to understand why they need to deprive him of his liberty.
So have you been able to go and meet him face to face and see how he is?
Yeah, I have met him in jail. We met him on the first day when he was produced in court after almost 24 hours in police custody, and he was in a terrible state. He was in a terrible state. He told the entire court, in fact, that he had been beaten on the face, but the court failed to record what he said or to take any action in that respect. I've met him subsequently twice in prison.
And how is he coping with this uncertainty about his status and his situation?
I think that's exactly the point, that he is coping, but I mean the situation is quite absurd, really, that a person should be deprived of liberty for so long simply for an allegation of speech which has caused so-called harm to the nation, which I think is a rather robust institution. I think, and I certainly think our nation has more than enough that it's not going to be exactly, wounded or injured by a few statements by any person. So, I think for him also, being held on this kind of accusation, and in a situation where, in fact, on the day on which he was arrested, on the 5th of August, about 100 people were reportedly arrested that same day, including young students, again, allegedly for spreading rumors and supposedly instigating law and order disruption and so on. Most of those people were released within a matter of weeks and days, and yet Shahidul Alam stays on in custody with no apparent release in sight.
That is the Bangladesh-based lawyer Sara Hossain speaking to me from Dhaka a little earlier, working to get the Sunderland University visiting professor Shahidul Alam released.